Hi guys, in this tutorial, I'm going to make this very colorful plant box. It's super easy to make, you just really have to follow all the steps in this video. Let's start! I need something to mold my plant box, some brown air dry clay, and just something to flatten. I flatten my clay evenly. Using this square molder, I try to make sure that everything is tucked in. It doesn't actually have to be square. Anything that is available to mold your box, either triangle or rectangle, circle, it's up to you. After everything is molded, create a line where you will cut the excess. I'm gonna use my plastic knife tool because metal tools can stick on your clay, but you can use oil to prevent it. I want my plant box to look like a wood. I'm going to use my knife tool to create lines on sides and on the top. I'm going to texture it using some sharp tool. Stroking it with some lines. It doesn't have to be perfect, just random lines. Just by rolling two pieces of clay, it will create a handle. I also added some nails using this straw. This little straw, you can find it on kids' string. Just to prevent it from deforming, I dry it overnight. After night, this should be ready to pull out. Now gently pull it in the molder. I dry it in an electric fan overnight. I actually made this clay, and this kind of clay really takes a while to dry. But it's actually surprisingly durable and flexible. To save some clay, I'm going to use the dry wipes to put it inside the plant box. I wanted to create some wet soil. That's why I'm covering it with some white clay and paint it later. Make sure that everything is covered, because the clay will shrink for about at least 5 to 10%. And guys, I would love to share some tips before we make the succulents. Try to handle the succulents or the petals lightly and give it a little bit of patience, because you are going to do it one by one. And we're going to make at least 5 species of succulents. For applying paint, I'm going to texture it with some brush tool or a toothbrush to create a texture of a soil. I'm going to use this brand, but you can use any kind of brand of acrylic. This shade is burnt umber, but you can use any kind of dark brown color, as long as it's close to the color of the soil. I kind of like that this acrylic paint looks a little glossy. That's why it's kind of perfect for a wet soil if you want something like that. For the succulents, you need toothpick and some clay. I'm going to use a little translucent color and some little bit of paint, because most of the succulent plants are actually translucent, maybe because of the water inside. I create this little measurement for miniature stuff to make the petals and the sizes even. I'm so sorry, I'm not very familiar with scale, so I'm just going to give you some guidelines that I can provide. Before making petals, I suggest you look first for your plant box to estimate your size. make a ball of 3 small, 4 medium, and 8 large. Now, this is the step that you will do on every single petal. Get your ball clay and roll it in your hands, flatten, and pinch the top. Now I'm going to do it again. You can actually flat it in a flat surface. Get your ball, flatten, and just pinch the top. Do it in every clay. It's just some scrap clay and toothpick. Put everything together. Start with small. And from small, then medium. From medium to large. Until you create a flower. Or a succulent, sorry. For at least 2 minutes, just to prevent it for the formation. And when you're ready, you can try to paint it with some pink color on the edge on every single petal. That's why I told you to be a little bit patient on this project. I'm going to attach it on the plant box. I'm just going to use some glue to stick it. You can see here how I pour a little portion of color. I'm using food coloring, by the way, and just try to mix it up. You can also notice how it changed color over time when it dry, because that's the color that we actually need, a little bit of translucent color. This ball serve as our next plant. Make a line like an orange slice and put it in a toothpick. Now gently cut it in every row. I'm using smaller scissors for this one. And again, to dry it a little, I dry it for at least 2 minutes. I'm using dark color of chalk pastel. And I'm shading it in between of every cut that I made. You can notice here that it will create that kind of gradient look on our succulent. To create spikes, I'm going to apply white paint. When done, attach it to the plant box. This next plant is the easiest. You just have to create a teardrop shape in every single petal. I made 8 petals and even, everything is even. And this size is considered as something small. Attach everything on the scrap clay. I'm just using a flower scissor to remove it, but you can also use any kind of scissor. Let's get started for our next plant. I made a 7 medium ball. It's all even and I just roll it. I get my scrap clay and put everything together, and I added some pastel on it. I use red color. I gently remove it to the scrap clay. And ready to attach to the plant box. The next plant, I sprinkled color blue, just a tiny bit, and it creates a pastel color. Three small, 3 medium. For the last part, I added solid color of blue. The last part is 5 medium. Put everything together, start with small, and then apply the medium, and for the last part, the solid color of blue. I want to blend blue color and the pastel color, so I'm going to use some pastel color and shade it with blue. And I just apply it on my plant box. Our next plant should be the one on the top of the turtle. That's our next reference. The pattern is 10 small and 4 medium. I'm making a tear shape here, and I'm making sure that every end is pointy. Just put them together using your scrap clay. Start with small, then go with medium. In this plant, I'm going to use solid color paint. I'm going to color it with red in every single petals. Adding dots on the red part, and green pastel in the center. Our next color is Sakura Pink. 4 small and 9 medium. In every single petal, create another teardrop shape, but attach it in reverse. To make a gradient effect, I added some pastel of red. Next plant is solid color of green and a little touch of color black. I did make sure that it has a pointy end. To create a gradient effect, shade black color on the lower part. On the bottom part, I added red paint and white paint for spikes. Last part, I directly added it to the plant box. I apply some glue. This is actually the easiest. I create a ball and I just directly put it in my plant box and I just create it evenly and I'm done. This box actually takes a lot of time to make. So if you're looking for something fun, playful, colorful, challenging project, then this is for you. I hope you guys learned something from this video. Thank you guys for watching.